call came from a different number, and another. By the end of the day, I had 7 missed calls from 7 different numbers. The voicemails started coming in. The first one had Ryan crying, saying he was sorry and he just needed to talk to me. The second one called me selfish and said I was throwing away 2 years for money. The third one apologized again and begged me to call him back. The fourth one said I was being childish and immature. They kept alternating like that, back and forth between sorry and angry. Camilla called me that night to check in, and I told her about the voicemails. She said to save every single one of them and not delete anything. She said I might need proof later if things got worse. I didn't want to think about things getting worse, but I saved them anyway. Listening to his voice made my stomach hurt and twist up inside. 3 days after I moved out, I was unpacking boxes in my new apartment when the building phone rang. The security guard downstairs told me someone named Ryan was here to see me. My heart started beating fast. I asked how he even knew my address since I'd been careful not to tell him where I was moving. The guard said he didn't know, but should he send him up? I said absolutely not and that Ryan wasn't allowed on the property ever. The guard said he'd make a note of it and escort him out. I stood there shaking for like 10 minutes after I hung up. That same afternoon, my mom called me sounding upset. She said Ryan's mother had just called her crying about how I broke her son's heart. Ryan's mom told my mom I ruined his life by being too ambitious and caring more about my career than our relationship. She said Ryan was so sad he could barely get out of bed. My mom said she told her that Ryan broke his own relationship by trying to control my career and make me turn down a promotion I earned. Then my mom warned me that this might get worse before it got better. She said Ryan's family was clearly in denial about his behavior, and they might keep trying to make me the bad guy. I felt tired just thinking about dealing with his whole family on top of everything else. Monday morning came and I started my first day as director of clinical trials. I felt excited and exhausted at the same time from all the Ryan drama over the weekend. My new office was on the 4th floor with big windows that looked out over the city. I spent my lunch break just sitting in my chair and staring at the view. This was what I worked for. 60-hour weeks for 5 years, weekend classes, conferences I paid for myself. I earned this office and this job, and I felt proud sitting there. Around 2 o'clock, another director stopped by my office and knocked on the open door. He introduced himself as Duncan Steele and said he started about 3 months ago. He offered to give me advice about how to deal with company politics and who to watch out for. He was friendly but not weird about me being a woman in leadership, which felt really nice after dealing with Ryan's insecurity for so long. Duncan told me about the different department heads and which ones were helpful versus which ones just like to create problems. We talked for maybe 20 minutes and then he headed back to his own office. The next morning, I checked my work email and found a message from an address I didn't recognize. The email said I stole money from Ryan and destroyed his property when I moved out. It said I was a thief and a liar and people should know what kind of person I really was. My hands were shaking as I read it. I forwarded it immediately to Lorelei Kerr in HR with a message explaining that Ryan was my ex-boyfriend who told me to turn down my promotion. I said he'd been calling me from different numbers and showed up at my apartment building. I wanted HR to know in case he tried to contact the company again. Lorelei called me within an hour and asked me to come to her office. She took the situation really seriously and started writing down everything I told her. She said the company had dealt with situations before where someone's personal life affected their work safety. She asked me details